Okay. Today and tomorrow we will discuss data warehousing concepts. Okay. So today we'll be covering data warehousing and ETL concepts in depth manner. So in demo session we had just an overview. What is what and all. So now in today and tomorrow session we go in depth regarding data warehousing fundamentals, ETL concepts, and data modeling. Okay. So now let's come to understanding about data warehousing. So, what is data warehousing? What is a warehouse? So, what is the general terminology of warehouse? Okay. So, what is a warehouse? Warehouse is nothing but a storage place, right? Correct. So, here data warehouse means what? Data warehouse means where we will store the data. Okay, so where we will store the data. So that is data warehouse. Okay, so here data warehouse is a database specially designed for analyzing the business. Okay, so these data warehousing applications are mainly built for analyzing the business. Let me take this the notes. Okay, so data warehousing applications are built for analyzing the business. Analyzing the business. Okay, so to run the business, we don't need data warehousing application. To run the business, okay. So we need OLTP systems. What is OLTP? So transaction processing. Okay. So transaction processing where to generate the bill and invoice. Okay. So for example, if you walk through any retail outlets, okay. So here they will at the billing counter, they will scan all your products, right? So especially you have experienced this in hypermarkets. Okay, hypermarkets and supermarkets, kind of. So they will scan your products and they will generate the bill, and they will once you make the payment, and it can come out what are the products that you purchased. Okay, so those systems are designed for to run the business, but we are building data warehousing applications by using DataStage. So that is OLAP. OLAP is online analytical processing. Okay, so analytical processing software. So here data warehousing is built for to analyze the business. Okay, and here whenever you are building a data warehousing applications, any application. Okay, so you need to think these four factors why we are designing the data warehousing applications. Okay, so if it is a hypermarket or any organization, so they want to analyze the business based on customer. Okay, so how many new customers? Okay, what are the products, newly added products that are available in our store? Okay, so I want to analyze my business based on the category wise, product wise. Okay, so product wise, what is the sales? What is the revenue generated by today? Okay, so by last month. So these are the way that we can design, I mean, we can implement, can build the data warehousing application. And how we can analyze the business based on the time. Okay. So time in the sense like I can analyze the business comparing to Feb month versus March month. Okay. So what is the sales volume generated in the month of February? Okay. So what is the sales volume? Okay. So generated in the month of February. What is the total number of transactions? What is the revenue amount? Okay. So if there are lesser transactions, and but the transaction volume amount is more. So that way also we can predict. So here the number of transactions increases, but sales volume is less because the people who purchase very minimal amount. So like this, they can do all this analytics. Okay. So while building this data warehousing application, and we can analyze the business based on the location. For example, I have in Hyderabad 10 retail outlets like Reliance Smart Point or Valley Zone Hypermarket. So here I can analyze the business based on the location. Okay. So here 10 retail outlets, let's take an example. So in which location has the business, I mean, the business is more. I mean, transaction volume is more. Okay, so location wise, we can analyze the business. When time wise, we can analyze the business and what. Okay, so here you can analyze the business. You can analyze the business based on the product. Okay, so what is the product? For any organization, for example, any organization, so they want to analyze their business means. So they have a product or a service. Okay, so what is a product? So they can manufacture their own product. Okay, so products also means these hypermarkets are there are the distributors. They are big distributors for the various manufacturers. Okay, so what they will do is they will have some profit margin like MRP. So they will get for 60 rupees. So suppose a product cost is 100 rupees. Let's take an example. So here they will get with 70 rupees, 75 rupees. So they will sell with 95 rupees and 20 rupees is the profit margin. Okay, so they will keep the product in the store. Based on the number of quantity sales increases, their revenue will increases. So like that, they will get the product. And who is the customers? Customer wise, we can analyze the business. Normally, in the billing counter, they will ask your mobile number. So what is the advantage of taking the mobile number? Any offers? Okay. So they will share this alerts. They will send SMS. So the so-and-so product has so-and-so with the so-and-so discount. If you purchase this much amount, like if you purchase 5,000 and above, so we will give some 10% discount. So like that, they will send this kind of the offers. So promotional offer alerts so that the people will come to the store again and purchase the products. So these applications are mainly designed for this 4 factors. Who is my customer? What are the products I have? I can analyze the business based on product and time. Okay, so when can I analyze my business? Based on time. I can compare yesterday's sales versus day before yesterday's sales. Okay, and location wise, I can analyze business. Where the sales volume is less and which locality sales volume is less. Why it is less. So they have to come up with this strategies to increase their revenue. Okay. So that is the reason here we are building database applications. Okay, and next thing is. So the example I have shared you for this retail industry. Okay, so let's take an example of manufacturing industry. For example, Caterpillar. So Caterpillar is to manufacture this heavy earth-moving equipments, construction equipments. Okay, so here all the products so they won't do the manufacturing. They will take the help from the supplier. Only the key components of the machine they will manufacture. The rest of the product they will take help from the third-party vendors, third-party manufacturing facilities, vendors. So they will maintain all this procurement processing. What is the cost that we are spending for a particular mission? What is the indirect cost? What is the direct cost? Okay, so direct cost means that we are spending towards to procure the parts. So, okay, so those parts we are procuring from the vendor. Okay, and that assembly will take place at the facility. Okay, so what and all this cost details and all will maintain in our data marts, data racing tables. Okay, so normally this automobile industry, what they will do is so they won't normally once you purchase the car, if something has happened and you need to if the particular part is not claimed by insurance and you have to bear the cost. What they will do is like they will get the product from the company side to the dealer. Okay, so for the company that particular product they won't do the manufacturing. Okay, so they will take help from the against from supplier. Suppose the product cost is okay, the part cost is 2,000 rupees. So they will increase the price. They will sell for 5,000 or 6,000. Okay, so with their trade name. Okay. So they can gain the profit. So this is a one way of business where the companies, this automobile industries can get the revenue. Okay. So currently I'm working for a automobile client. So I work for the project called this parts distribution, like what is the revenue generated. Okay, so the product cost is like $20. So we used to sell, I mean, like the automobile company used to sell for $200. So there will be a huge revenue profit they are going to generate. So these kind of, if you want to work with these kind of analytics, okay, so that is the reason here we are building data application. And there is also indirect cost. Okay. So what is indirect cost for the procurement process? Indirect cost is nothing but the people working on the particular facility, plant, the engineering staff, okay, and also the people who supports the IT applications. Okay, so procurement process, there will be IT team, so dedicated IT team and business team who is going to support the applications. So all this cost and all comes under indirect cost. So this is another example where we are going to build for data application. So here we have studied two case studies. One is retail industry and the other one is manufacturing. And let's see about the banking sector. Okay. So for example, I want to purchase a bike. I don't have money. So here we need to pay 10% down payment. Okay. So minimum 10% down payment. And based on your credit score, they will, is there any possibility entire the cost of the bike? They can offer you in a form of EMI basis, like 12% interest. So there'll be interest like 7 to 10 or 12 like that. So all these financial transactions, so they will maintain data everything tables, and they should generate default list every month. Okay, so if due to some financial situation, customer is unable to make the payment, so the default list of this particular who didn't make the payment, EMI payment of this month. So after 5th or 7th, they will give the to the third party team. So third party team, they have all their address details, okay, the phone numbers. So actually, they will deal with the over the phone. Okay, so if the customer is not responding, then they will come to your home. Okay, so like this, these database applications are built. Okay, so any application you are building in real world, you need to have some characteristic features. Okay. So now let's discuss about the characteristic features of data warehouse. So here time variant database. Okay, so just now we have discussed, we can analyze the business based on the time. Yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly. So here I can compare I mean like the business last quarter to the previous quarter. Okay, so last 2 months I need to compare Feb month. Okay, last 3 months I need to compare last quarter. So month wise, quarter wise, I can do this analytics. Okay, so here we can analyze the business based on the character. I mean, like time variant characteristic. And another one is here. It's a non-volatile database. So what is meant by non-volatile database? What is meant by non-volatile? Non-volatile means once the data is entered into data warehouse, we cannot make any changes. Okay, so that is the reason here we will be calling it as a non-volatile database. Non-volatile database. Okay, so here we cannot make any changes. If you want to make any changes, so some wrong data is populated, then what is the approach? So we have to delete the data by taking the approach. So only DBA has the authority to perform action on the database. So they will give, like, they will create one batch ID. Okay, so with that credentials, we can perform DML operations and rerun the process so that the updated data, the clean data will be reloaded again. Okay, so here once the data is entered into the warehouse, here we cannot make any changes. Okay, so this is another characteristic features of data warehouse. Okay. And the next one is here, this is the example, time variant, okay? So non-work time. Like here, we'll maintain in data, what is the difference between database versus data warehouse? In database, every transaction, OLTP system, it will be overwritten the transaction amount. I mean, like for example, employee salary has been increased from 8,000 USD to 9,000 USD. Okay, so in data warehouse, we are maintaining both the entries. But in OLTP system, so here only it will overwritten the existing. Okay, so existing the entry. Okay, so the new entry will be updated. So this is all the difference. And the next one is here we are dealing with a subject-oriented database. So what is meant by subject-oriented database? So subject-oriented database is nothing but here we deal with a specific category. For example, every enterprise, okay, any hypermarket, they have this finance team, right? So all these financial transactions, okay. So here, end of the month, they have to pay the GST to the government. They will have the list of products. Okay, so what and all they purchased, and they have to pay the GST amount. So here we have in India the HSR code. Okay, so product wise they have to make the GST payment to the government. So there will be dedicated accounting fee, and the transactions are in lakhs. Okay, so they have to make all the entries. So if it is a customer is B2C customer, business to customer, and here we can directly make the GST payment. And if it is a B2B customers, for example, we have metro cash and carry. So here, normal people cannot go and purchase the products here. Okay, so I hope everyone knows metro cash and carry. I will show you what is this metro cash and carry. Metro cash and carry. Second. Metro cash and carry. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so here normal people cannot go into the shopping here. Okay, so here this is for small wholesale traders. I mean, small traders. So we need to have this license. Okay, so for example, if you are running a small shop in your local, in your colony or something. So for them, they have designed this store. Okay, so those who runs a company, I mean, like any proprietorship, partnership, organization, private limited company. So here we can purchase the products. So, okay, so here I have license. So monthly once I will go here and purchase the product. So here we'll get with very good discounted price. Okay. And normal people without card, they won't allow you inside of the store. So here you have to apply the card if you don't have apply. Okay, so here we need any government registration for your shop, like labor license or MSME certificate or GST registration is mandatory, and your ID proof under the store. So with that, they will give this card. Okay. So you can see the card here. The person is holding the card. Okay. Well, once you have the card, you can walk through the store. So here we deal with a specific subject area. Okay. So in enterprise, yes, finance and also sales. Okay. So normally this automobile industry, they have sales team. Okay. So they want to sell the vehicles. Right? So how they will get the profit? How they will get the revenues? As soon as the sales increases, they will get the revenue, right? So here they'll be having a dedicated sales team. So sales head, again from sales head, like senior manager and manager, lead sales executive. So here they will do all this campaign promotional activity. Okay, so to increase the sales, all the sales transaction we are maintaining it on a data. Okay, so anything we are going to maintain subject-wise category. Okay, so that we are going to maintain in a separate subject-oriented data matrix. So this will help us to analyze the business at the middle level. Okay, another approach is here, like we are going to integrate all the data. Okay, so here we have sales, transaction entries, financial transaction, and HR. So what is HR? Normally, the Indian-based IT companies like Infosys, TCS, HCL, Tech Mahindra. So here they'll be having more than 2 lakh suppliers working in this organization. Okay, so they need a system to maintain all this employee information. Okay, so employee name, employee details. Okay, this phone number, email ID, and the current address, permanent address. Okay, and what is which project is working on, and reporting hierarchy, and what was his primary skill set, previously where he worked. So all this employee related information. So they used to maintain in HR data, and also there will be this leave portal. They'll be having separate application leave portal. Okay, and also this timesheet. Okay, so nowadays we are working from home. Okay, so in a hybrid model. So if you don't go to office, we have to submit the time. We have to enter the entry and exit time. Okay, so then the time sheet will be uploaded by respective project manager, and it will go to the payroll. So all these transactions, okay, so that are all maintained by HR data. Okay. So any questions here? Any questions so far?
No, sir, I am good.
What about this? Vinay, Praveen, Rakesh, Sandhya, Suman.
No questions are fine, carry on.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. Right, so the next one is here, the main, these data origin applications are built for decision supporting system. So what is meant by decision supporting system? We'll take a decision. Okay, so here these are built for analytics, right? Analyzing the business. So that is the reason here we'll be calling it as a decision supporting system. Okay, so now let's see. And also here in data warehousing applications, here we'll be maintaining the historical data as well, current and as well as the historical data. Okay. So, and these data warehousing applications are basically, we'll be calling it as a read-only database. Okay. So read-only database means what? Read-only database means what? Like we cannot make any changes once the data is entered into the variables. Okay. So here operational databases. Now let's see the differences between database versus operation OLTP versus OLTP. Okay, so here OLTP has the volume is the storage of volume is in MB megabytes. Okay, for OLTP it will be in gigabytes. Okay, so this application OLTP is designed for transaction processing. Any system that generates the invoice, so that will be collected as a OLTP. Okay, any application that you are going to take a business decision, so that will be collected as a OLTP. Okay, So here we have an option where we can change the data. Data is volatile here. Something the product, the price, so what is showed in the display and the billing counter is difference means then they have not updated their entries in the system. Okay, so they have an action to correct the bill. It's manual entry. So that option is available in OLTP system. But here in OLTP, that option is not available. Okay, so in OLTP has only current transaction. So they will maintain only for like 10 days or 15 days. If any product, okay. So normally this FMCG goods, groceries and all, they won't have this return policy like textiles. Okay, so they will, I mean, we have an option to exchange. Okay, so they will refund you the cash. So we have an option. For example, I brought a shirt. Okay, so that is not, it has been over since. Okay, so normally we have the option to check in the trial. Okay, so even though if it is not, if you didn't satisfied once you came back to home after your purchase, then we have an option for exchange for 15 days. So they will maintain your data for 15 days. So after 15 days, if you want to try to exchange, then it is not allowed. So in the exchange process, the bill tag should be there, should not remove the bill tag. Okay, so there are some policies. So if you violate the policies, they won't allow you for the exchange. Okay. So here we'll maintain current data in OLTP, but in OLTP here we'll maintain both current and historical data. Current and historical data. Okay. And detailed data. So here we have detailed data. So all the transaction related information here we have detailed entries in OLTP. But in OLTP, we have detailed entries as well as summary entries. Summary means high level information. Okay, so for example, product wise, I have all the detailed level of transaction. I don't, for my analytics, I don't need the detailed level of data. So product wise, what is the quantity sold? Okay, and what is the revenue generated? What is the MRP? What is the discounted price? What is the discount price for this product? What is the product? Okay, so MRP is different, and store selling price is different. And what is the total amount? Okay, so total amount product. Suppose today 100 products has been bought. 100 into, for example, it's the product cost is 200 rupees. 200 into 100. So that comes under 20,000. So product wise, they need to summarize the data for analytics. So the store manager, they can analyze the business on the summarize the data. Okay, summarize the data and store wise. I mean, regional heads will be there. So regional head, they can check they can analyze the business with the different stores. So like that. So here we'll be summarizing the data for analytics purpose. Okay, and detailed data for to view the entire transaction information. So normally in dimension table, we will be having this particular all the detail entries. Okay, so in data warehousing fact tables, okay, so there we'll be having this summarized information. So this is the main difference between OLTP versus OLTP versus OLTP. So this is one of the common interview question. Okay. So this is the flow of the methodology for how the data flow will happen from OLTP system to OLTP. So OLTP system where the transactions will happen and move there from OLTP system to the OLTP system. Okay, so here we'll be extracting data from OLTP to OLTP. First, we will be loading the data into staging area. Again, from staging area, we will apply transformation rules. And again, from transformation rules, then we'll load the data into data warehouse. From there, we'll query the data, perform the reporting, analyzing, and take a decision. and types of ETL tools. An application. Okay, so here let's in the Western session we have discussed various ETL tools, right? So one is geo-based ETL tools and code-based ETL tools. Geo-based ETL tools are Informatica DataStage, ODI, okay, SnapLogic, Oracle Warehouse Builder, Business Object Data Integrator. Okay, so Informatica DataStage are the leading ETL tools in the market. And we have code-based ETL. So you can perform the ETL process by using code-based transactions. Okay, with SQL and the PL SQL program. Okay, so SQL and PL SQL also it will support the 80% of the ETL process. But the challenge here is like we have to write coding. Manpower, the skill who is expertise in doing the coding. So that kind of resource were required in the team. Okay, so and also comparingly developing the code between geo-based to the code-based tools, and here it required a lot of time when compared to geo-based. Okay, so here if you go to this geo-based automation tools for building the developing application, we can save the time and effort. Okay, so that is the advantage for the companies. And here we have SaaS also, one of the code-based ETL tools. Okay, so any questions here? No questions, all good.
All good, sir.
Yeah, okay, now let's move on to the next one. So data extraction. So here the data acquisition. So here in yesterday we have given the we have discussed an overview. Now we will discuss in detail level. What is the data extraction? Okay. So for a data acquisition process, here we are extracting the data from various source systems, applying the business transformation rules, and load the data into a destination place. Okay. So what is the data extraction? Here data can be extracted in two ways. Okay, so here internal sources and external sources. Okay, so internal sources are like our databases and RDBMS tools. Okay, and external sources are like XMLs, ERP systems. Okay, so mainframes and Salesforce, PeopleSoft, JDST Word. So these are the external sources. Okay, and Salesforce browser. Okay, we can extract the data from API. Okay, so these are comes under the external sources. Okay. So this is a source system, and target system is finally where we are loading the data into a destination place, that is target system. And here you can see the phases of data loading. So here, what is ETL stage 1 and stage 2? Okay, so here source. Okay, so from source, we will be loading the data into staging area. Okay, so from the staging area, again, we'll apply the transformation rules and load the data into data mart tables. So there will be different phases of data load. Generally, we will do this implementation of the project. Okay, so here we'll be having various phases. Okay, so normally we'll be extracting data from source to staging area. So for data warehousing projects, generally we are not allowed to load the data directly to data warehousing table from source to target data mart table. So here we have to load the staging area first. Okay, so if you want to implement any CDC process, okay, that you need to check. Okay, so if I want to implement a SCD type, and you have to compare the data which is already existing in the system and you have to load the data in another temporary file or a table. Okay. Again, the next step is after comparison, then that will be considered as an input. Okay. So here, while the comparison itself will separate the insert records and update records. Then the next step is we'll update the data. Then the next step is we'll insert the data. So these are the process that we are going to follow. Okay. So I will explain you in in the practical sessions about the various stages. So we have a session on slowly changing dimension implementation. So that there I will explain you this detailed steps. So what is the source? How we can extract? Okay, how we can compare the data with the data warehousing tables? And okay. Comparing the data and identify the records which are of insert, update. Okay. So then how we can load the data finally to target this. And the next one is, so this is the enterprise data warehousing architecture. Sources, okay, flat files, XMLs, staging area, operational databases, transformations, load the data into target data warehousing. Okay. So now we have discussed about data extraction. Now transformations. Okay. So data can be transferred in four methods. What are those four methods? Data merging. What is merging? What is the merging generally? So merging means combining two tables. Okay. So here in merging can be classified into two types. Okay. So there is a scenario like we want to do the self join. Okay. So that is one option, and I want to compare data with some other table. I need to do the validation. I need to bring columns from other tables as well in my output. Okay. So that is the case. So here I will show you an example. So this is the mapping sheet. So this is a mapping sheet generally. So just take an example, employee table versus DEPT table. So in my output, I need the details of both employee information as well as department information. So here what I need to do, I need to bring the columns from employee table as well as the department table. And I need to have some derived columns. So derived columns are the data that is not coming from source. We have to derive at the intermediate level. Okay, so here we are giving salary hike to the employees. So this is one realistic case study. So here we are providing hikes to the employees. Okay, so if the designation is president or a manager, 10% salary hike. Okay, for president, no salary hike. Okay, so if the designation is manager, 10% salary hike, and other employees, 20%. So like that, we want to calculate the hike salary, and here we need to calculate the total salary. So what is the total salary, like hike salary, and what is the current salary, and commission? So people who are working in marketing department, they will get some commission apart from the salary. Okay. So basically this the salary base pay is somewhat less compared to IT team, but they will get allowances based on the sales. They reach the target after reaching the target slab, then they will get some commission. Okay. So this is case study. So combining two tables data. So that is the matching here. Okay. So in the matching, what we are doing, we are combining two tables data into one table. Okay. So there might be a scenario where we need to extract the data from different tables, two tables, three tables. Okay. So here we need to have a common joint. Okay. So if you are combining three tables, there should be a common column name and data type should be similar to combine all these three tables data into one table. So this is dissimilar structure. Okay, so here table names are different and the metadata in both the tables are different, but to perform the join with the dissimilar structure. Okay, so here what is the key thing required? Key thing required is common column name, data type. Okay, and how I can handle with similar structure. Okay, so how I can handle the similar structure here? So similar structure I can handle. Table names are different, but metadata is same. Okay, one table name I have like EMP, another table name I have is supply. I need to combine this two table data into one table. What is the criteria that we are going to use? Self-join. Okay, self-join, then you can use the option called union. Okay, so normally union all. So normally in SQL we have this set operations, right? So union is to combine all the records, and the union will eliminate the duplicates. Okay, and load the data into target table. And cleansing. Okay, so cleansing here, yesterday we have seen this example case study, like the decimal values. Okay, so here inconsistent format of the data, and also this transaction from the input we are using data like this 10.126. Okay, so like this, and here 11.134.1. So I need to do the roundup. Okay, I need only two decimal values. Another column I receive like this only 12. So I need some standard format in the output 10 point. So I need only two decimals 1, 2, 11, 11, 1, 3. Okay, and 12, 0. So one standardized format here we have to maintain. Okay, so here you can see the country name. It's we are receiving in inconsistent manner. So here the requirement is we need to the first letter should be capital letters and remaining should be small letters. Okay, so if that is the case, how we can handle this convert functionalities? Okay, so in the data cleansing here you can consider. Okay, and here we are doing an example here inaccuracy. So we are considering two decimal points. Okay, by doing the roundup. So these logics are all implemented in transformation functions in DataStage. So in practical sessions, I will discuss this in detail level. And next thing is data scrubbing. Okay. So what is data scrubbing? So sales tax is a column that we are not receiving from the source. Okay. So that is generated by the data warehousing table. I mean data warehousing in ETL tools derived columns. Okay, so here 5% is the sales tax for a particular amount for every product. Okay, so here the product cost is 100 rupees and tax is 5%. So that is 105. So here sales tax is based on the product. It is 5. Okay, so like that, when I want to derive the columns in the intermediate level, this is called as a data splitting. Okay, and another one is data aggregation. So data aggregation is in the sense of so combine. I mean, like we have seen this in visualization. So data, sum of the values, average of the values, minimum value, maximum values, count of records. Okay, so all this comes under the category of data aggregation. Okay, what is the total deposits in a month, and what is the withdrawals? Okay, what is the left out of the balance? So normally, if you refer any bank statement, okay, so in the bank statement, you can see at the end total number of deposits. Okay, so you have to notice this. Okay, if you have account in Axis Bank or State Bank of India, so they at the bottom they have this clear transactions. I mean, like total number of deposits amount and total number of withdrawals and what is the leftover balance. Okay. So how this calculation will happen? This calculation will happen with the functionality of sum up. Okay, and also average. So here we have to maintain if it is a saving account, If it is a current account, you have to maintain minimum balance. Okay, so here we have to maintain the minimum balance of the for that particular account based on the account category. So if you don't maintain the average balance, what happens is the bank will charge you a penalty fine. They will put a fine and the penalty on that penalty they will claim they will charge GST. Okay, so fine is 500, then you have to pay 18% GST that comes under 90 rupees. Total 590 rupees will be deducted from your account. Okay, so normally in SB State Bank of India account, after so you can calculate the average balance. Okay, so after 8 o'clock, what is the 8 o'clock in the evening? So you can calculate what is the average balance today and what is the average balance month wise we have spent so far. Okay, what is the average balance? Okay, so that you can check. Okay, so normally if your the money is getting deposited, again you are doing some withdrawals, you can check the monthly average balance. So we have that option in the few banks they will provide and few banks they won't provide actually. It depends upon bank to bank. Okay. So any questions guys here? And for example, I want to pick the maximum transaction value, minimum transaction value, on count of transactions. So all this comes under the category of data aggregation. Okay. And here we'll be calculating all these averages, some of the values. That summarized data we are going to load in database tables. Okay. And here target, finally, where we are pumping the data into data warehouse. So that is the target loading, data loading. Okay. So here data, what is the data mart? Data mart is like a subunit of an enterprise data warehouse. So the purpose of this data mart is to support the business needs as a middle level management, like department heads and store managers. So for them, this data marts are help us to take a business decision at the middle level. Okay. So I'm stopping it for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Any questions, guys?
This you'll be sharing this, right? This PPT.
Yeah. I'm sharing. I will do one thing, like we'll create a folder here. I'll be creating the folder.
Is there any difference between Union All and MRSA?
Union all is Union all is combining all the records. It allows the duplicates. So merging means based on the common column category.
Actually, we can merge two sources, right? If we any chances to multiple, we can use joins, multiple tables or any.
Yeah, you can use. Okay, so here you can use joins. Here we in DataStage, we have join, lookup, and merge. So based on the data that we are going to set everyone. So I need the data of the duplicate. Then the table structure is similar. It's like similar. Then we can use union all, combine the data into one table like that. Yeah, so I'll be uploading all this materials. So please go through the PPT. I will be sharing this PPT with you. I will give you access to the drive. Okay. And you need to finish your installation before the practical sessions will start. Okay. And I hope Kiran, you have completed the installation.
No, sir. Just downloading the software, sir.
Okay.
So it is around 30 GB. It need time.
Yeah. So you need strong internet bandwidth. Okay. If you are in Hyderabad, you can come to my place so that I can do the installation. If you are not in Hyderabad, you have to download the dump, whatever which I am going to give it to you.
Okay, sir. Now I am staying in Bangalore, sir.
Oh, well,
So I will downloading that one.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if any problem occurs, means I will contact you through WhatsApp.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What about others? Praveen? Suman? So finish the enrollments, then install the software. Okay, so tomorrow we'll continue with the rest of the vehicle concepts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, any clarification, always you have my number, right? Okay. So I'll be sharing my number in the chat box. Country code 91. Okay. So this is my number. Okay, I'll be sharing this recording to you. Okay, so you can go through the recording. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.